How you guys doing? Can you hear me? Comment in the comment section. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Yeah, let me know. I'm seeing the comments here. It says we are live. Yeah, make a comment and let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Perfect. Awesome. I don't know. This is the very first time I've ever done a live YouTube video, so I don't know what the delay is like. There probably is a little bit of a delay, but that's good. Anyway, okay, so you guys can hear me. Fantastic. Well, welcome. This is totally awesome. I have my Blu-ray set up on my big TV. And I put a bit of a backdrop behind me because I got some posters on the wall, but they're Star Wars posters, and they're not really part of the theme. You know what I'm saying? So I just put a big black backdrop up behind me, which I thought was the best thing to do, and got some pumpkins and got my Michael Myers mask there. That's the one I actually wore in Halloween the night he came back, so that sucker's just going to sit there. And I got my Blu-ray, which is what we're going to be watching today. I also have, what do I have with me here? I have Halloween 2 on Blu-ray. We're not going to watch that. Maybe next year. Who knows? But I also have this copy as well. You know, we Halloween fans, we have multiple copies of the same film, right? And then, of course, I think that was the first one that I bought on DVD about 6 or 7 years ago. And, of course, I got my Michael Myers shirt on. So, it's going to be totally awesome. Anyway, no, we're not playing it yet. We are about to. It's, according to me, because everybody's time is probably, you know, you might be a minute or two ahead of me. I might be a minute or two ahead of somebody else. So I'm looking at the clock, which is over my television. Right now it says 8:59. So when I say play, that's when we're going to hit play. So not yet. Not yet. But we're almost there. 8:59, folks. And then I'm going to hit play. I got my remote right here. And I'm going to hit play, and that's when you guys hit play. Greetings from Brazil. Hey, Brazil, how you doing down there? Wow, totally. Wow, what time? Oh, no, I guess, are we in the same time zone? I'm not sure if we are. I don't think we are. Are we? We might be. I don't know. Comment below and let me know. Or comment to the side, I should say, because this is a live broadcast. So, Brazil, totally awesome. I've never been to South America, but who knows? Maybe one day I will be able to go. Let's see, it's 22:58. Okay, so it's, what is that? That's like, yeah, you're a couple of hours ahead of me. Totally awesome. All right, so we are, let's say, 30 seconds away, folks. 30 seconds away from hitting play on John Carpenter's Halloween. So, and again, you won't be able to hear it or see it. You might be able to catch maybe some of the reflection in my glasses, who knows? I have to wear glasses. I don't normally wear them when I do my videos for my channel, but when I'm watching TV, I have to. Even though I have a gigantic screen, I like to sort of see what I'm looking at. Okay, folks, are you ready? Are you ready? Here we go. I'm about to hit play right now. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I am hitting play, and we have begun. John Carpenter's Halloween from 1978. Mustafa Akkad Presents is on my screen right now. That's what I'm seeing. And of course, the pumpkin slowly fades on to the left. Donald Pleasance in John Carpenter's Halloween. This is a great opening shot. Iconic, cinematic, totally cool. It's, you know, I mean, it's iconic. What can we say, right? A Deborah Hill production. So sad, eh? Deborah Hill died in 2005. I believe she had cancer, right? And of course, it's Jamie Lee Curtis's first film, which is totally cool. Nancy Loomis as Annie. She was also in The Fog, wasn't she? And PJ Soles as Linda. Totally woman. You're watching Halloween now on AMC. Well, Robert Lee, don't watch Halloween on AMC because we're all going to watch it on our Blu-rays and DVDs, and there's no commercials. So if you want to keep up with us, if you don't care about that, then not a big deal. But if you want to keep up with us, you might want to watch it on DVD. if you do have it. That way you avoid all of the commercials. Director of photography, Dean Cundy. Dean Cundy, folks, one of the greatest cinematographers in motion picture history. Went on to do Jurassic Park, went on to do Back to the Future. I think he did Apollo 13, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. But he started, this wasn't his first film, but it was one of his first films, with, of course, Halloween. And production designer Tommy Wallace. We're still sort of in the opening credits here. Now, again, I don't know what the delay is like, so there might be a bit of a delay in terms of what I'm seeing and what you're hearing, so I apologize for that. But so far, it says everything's okay. Directed by John Carpenter. That's what I just saw. Haddonfield, Illinois. And totally, that's right. That's right. Totally. Halloween night 1963. Same year John F. Kennedy was killed. Not too long after this. A month after this. Shortly after. And this is a great shot. Now, this house, okay, is just down the street right now. When I was in Los Angeles, well, actually in Pasadena, shooting the night he came back, this house was still around, and it's just down the street from this location. It's no longer here. In the late 80s, it was going to be demolished, and they saved it, thank God, because, of course, it's horror history. And instead of demolishing it, they moved it literally just maybe 30 seconds down the road on the corner. And of course, condos are now where this house sits in this movie. But it's not far from its original location, which is really cool. So if you're ever in Pasadena and you're at the house, just walk down the street 30 seconds and you'll be at where the house used to sit. Pretty cool stuff. One of the best opening scenes in cinematic history. Yeah, absolutely. It was one of the first times that a Panaglide, which is Panavision's version of the Steadicam, was used, and certainly used for this long. Great shot. I believe the first cut comes when they put the mask, when 6-year-old Michael puts the mask on his face, which of course wasn't, they didn't actually put the mask over the camera. It was all done in post, but I believe that's when the first cut comes. So it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. So we're just going through the back door now of the house, and I'm at a house opening. Michael's going down the stairs. Well, I think you're a little ahead of me. Deborah Hill's hands. Yeah, you might be about where I am. Yes, that was Deborah Hill, of course. Her small little tiny hands. It was perfect for Michael Myers. I mean, that's, I don't know how small she was in real life, but obviously she couldn't have been that big. So, because her hands were tiny and perfect for a 6-year-old boy. Now, if you notice the clock on the wall, I've always found this interesting. The clock, I forget what it says now. It just passed, but it said something like 10, some obscure, like 10:42 or something like that. But then, of course, we start to hear the chimes of the clock, and I always thought that was kind of funny. They missed the boat. The fastest sex scene in motion picture history, ladies and gentlemen. This guy just 1 minute wonder right there, and he leaves. Oh man, that's right. I am still the POV shot. Michael is about to go up the stairs right now. That's where I am. Again, guys, I don't know what the delay is like here. This is my first time doing a YouTube live, so there might be a bit of a delay. I do apologize for that. But you can always watch again after the movie, or sorry, after the live stream is done, and you can watch it not live. And that might even be a bit easier. Who knows? So here's where the first cut comes, right there. That's our first cut since the opening of the film, which is pretty damn cool. Now this optical illusion, looking through the eyes of the mask, that was done in post. That was not a clown mask over the lens of the camera. That would have been a little too difficult to do at that time. So yeah, what do we got here? Thoughts on the Sabres? Don't even get me started on the Buffalo Sabres. They should be doing better than they are now. I don't think they should be necessarily at the top of the pack, but they certainly shouldn't be at the bottom of the pack. They got a lot of good players. They're just not finding the chemistry. So Judith has just been killed. Michael is leaving and heading down the stairs. Now, we're about to see a scene that I made a comment on my Facebook page about. We're about to see a scene where a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people are a little confused by this moment because the parents aren't doing anything. Michael is completely still, his parents are completely still, and the camera just sort of comes back and arcs back upward, and that's it. And here it is right here. And a lot of people are like, well, why aren't the parents saying anything, doing anything? This is called a tableau. And in acting, that's when it's supposed to act like a still photograph, a moment in time. You're seeing the typical Midwestern American family against the backdrop of a typical Midwestern American home, with the context of something horrific. And that's why they're standing still, not moving. It's supposed to be this still photo. It's just a cute little trick that Carpenter did, and I thought it worked. I thought it was nice. You don't see it too much in motion pictures, but more so years ago. But certainly it does give an interesting effect, and I always liked it. So it's not that they're stunned or it's a mistake and they don't know what to do. It's a conscious creative choice, which I always enjoyed. So now we're moving into 1978. The car has just come around the corner, the thunder and the lightning, which is fantastic. I love how dark it is. This is great. How dark it is, how moody it is. You don't really see outside the windows. You don't see any lights outside. Now, I don't even know if they're actually moving. I mean, this could have been shot inside or completely still because you don't see any of the background. And the car is sort of going like this to give sort of the optical illusion that they are moving, but they may even not be for the interiors. Who knows? Yes, very creepy. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me go back. I'm just going to scroll back and see if anybody's asking any questions. Feel free to ask any questions, guys. If I don't get to your question, don't take it personally. It's just sometimes things are moving by really, really, really fast. And of course, I'm trying to watch the movie at the same time as well. So yeah, just remember that. Yeah, there he is. Marion, right? Marion Chambers, is that her name? Marion Chambers, the nurse? I think that's it. And so we're still in the car. They're having that conversation. This is our introduction to Donald Pleasance's character of Dr. Loomis, which is fantastic, by the way. Too bad he died. Obviously he's eventually going to die, but I mean, it's too bad he died when he did because he was only in his early 70s. He probably could have lived another 10 years. Rabbit in red on the matchbook. Very cool. What is your favorite scene in the movie? Ooh, what is my favorite scene in the movie? Probably, I have a ton of them. But probably at the very end when Tommy says, "You can't kill the boogeyman," and the camera turns and you see Michael at the end of the hallway. I actually, I met Nick Castle a few years ago and I got him to sign that photo of him. Probably one of my favorite scenes. Just a totally awesome shot. Because that's really the first time that we see Michael with any sort of clarity as well. I mean, we do see him, but he's always kind of in the background or obscured or whatever. Like a boom, there he is. You know what I mean? Love that shot. Totally awesome. So yeah, Donald brought such an elegance to the movie. He did. And that was one of the reasons why they hired him, because Donald Pleasance was a very famous actor at that time. Very well known, very prestigious. And they wanted Carpenter in the movie to help give some bottom to the film, to help give the film some credibility, some weight. And because they were a bunch of not kids, but late 20s making a movie on a small budget of $320,000. And if you have a name attached to the film, you're more likely to have producers and distributors and people take you seriously. So it was a smart move. Christopher Lee was asked, and he turned it down. So it ended up being Donald Pleasance, which of course is a great choice. So here's Michael. He's on top of the car. He's attacking Marion. Marion, right? I think it's Marion. I think I have that. Yes, just grabbed Marion. Here he comes. You can kind of see the wrench in his hand. That's how they break. You can really see it clearly on the Blu-ray and on a screen this size. You can really see the wrench in his hand as he smashes the window. And I don't know. I mean, obviously they needed something to smash the window, but did Michael have a wrench in his hand, or is that sort of a mistake, if you will? Who knows? Do you hope to see Loomis still alive in Halloween coming out next year in 2018? No, I don't, because I have a feeling it's going to take place in 2018. And if you want to be serious, Loomis would probably be like 106. So no, I don't think we need to see him. I don't think it's necessary. So now we are opening up on, it's during the day now, Haddonfield, Halloween. I sat this exact intersection, I sat on the ground where this camera is. Now, as we pan over to the Strode house, to the right over here, you see a green sort of patch of grass. The Pasadena Public Library is there now. I went in there to go to the bathroom on a pee break while I was shooting at the Strode house in the fall of 2015. The Strode house is different now. It's a different paint job, but it pretty much looks identical. Different windows as well. I mean, it's upgraded, but in terms of cosmetic and aesthetics to the house, they haven't added anything or taken anything away. It looks identical now. And this whole path here, the path that Laurie is walking along, it looks identical. If any of you have been to Pasadena, you know what I'm talking about. Not much has changed. I mean, this looks pretty much what it looks like in my fan film as well. So that's pretty cool. Should Tommy Doyle and Lindsay be in the new movie? You know, I would be okay with that. I would be okay with that. I don't know if they're going to be. It's still early. They still could announce it, but I would be okay with that as long as it's justified and as long as it's a story it's a role and a part that makes sense. I would be totally okay with that. It'd be cool if Josh Hartnett will reprise his role, Laurie Strode's son. I'm not a fan of Halloween H2O really, so I could care less about that. A lot of fans are. You're emotionally attached to those films, so of course that would matter to you. You're watching Halloween 1978 in the theaters tomorrow. I'm jealous. I've never seen it in the movie theater. It doesn't usually play up here in Canada around Halloween time. And I'm in Toronto, right? The fourth largest city in North America. And it doesn't play. It doesn't play too often here. Might play in Buffalo, though. That's only about 90 minutes from me. Maybe I could go down there and see it. I'm just scrolling back here to see if I missed any questions. I apologize for that. I'm at the scene where Laurie and Tommy are walking along the sidewalk, heading up to the Myers house. Oh, if you hear that meowing, that's my cat. My cat Veda has made an appearance. Oh no, she's going over to her food over there. She's a black cat, so maybe she'll come on. Who knows? Are you going to be doing more fan films? Chase, possibly. There's no immediate. In other words, we haven't made a final decision whether we are going to do another fan film or a sequel to Halloween the Night He Came Back. But we've thought about it. We have some ideas. It's just, to get everybody together and to get our schedules coordinated can be tough too. So what we're watching right now, or what I'm seeing, is Laurie walking away from the camera. Michael Myers will step into frame with his shoulder on the right side of the frame right here. Now, where the Myers house is now is literally just down the street on the corner. Do you see on the far left over there, you kind of see a sign on a store where that red pickup truck is? That is where the house sits now. The house is actually on the corner up there. That's where it sits now. It's kind of cool. Anyway, okay, Dr. Loomis and Dr. Wynn is coming out. I would love to see Danielle and Laurie finally in one Halloween together. Yeah, I mean, I understand why fans would, but in terms of what they're doing right now, it's unnecessary. In order to be able to please all the fans that love 4, 5, and 6 and H2O and Resurrection, they'd have to go back and scrap everything they've already begun to do. So you're not going to see Danielle Harris in the new film. At least I don't think you're going to see Danielle Harris in the new film. That wouldn't make any sense. And you're not going to see Josh Hartnett either or anything like that. So I saw it in theaters back in 2013. They were re-releasing it for the 35th anniversary. And even though it was a school night for me, I was... sorry if I keep spitting here, guys. I need some water. I was not going to miss it. Yeah, totally. That would be awesome. I'd love to see Halloween in the theater. That would be great. Hopefully it's not too bright. Maybe I'll turn this around a little bit. 1 second, guys. I'm still here. I'm just turning the light around a little bit. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, that's a little better. All right. So we're at the scene now where Laurie is looking through the window. She's in class and she's looking around and whatnot. I did binge watch Halloween 1, 2, 4, and H2O all in one. That's great. I personally like the Jamie Lee Curtis timeline. So to me, Halloween 2 and H2O are the only films. And that's fair. A lot of people love it. For me, Halloween was always 1 and 2. That was sort of it. There are some redeeming qualities. But on the whole, I wasn't a huge fan. Yeah, Veda, how you doing? That's right. Come say hi to everybody. What do we got here? Um, okay. If I get your names wrong, I apologize there. Noah says this isn't Halloween related, but what are your thoughts on the Saw films? I really enjoyed the first Saw. I saw no pun intended. I saw the first Saw in the theater back in 2004, and I really enjoyed it. The other Saws not so much. I thought it ran its course and it became your typical slasher film. Whereas when Saw came out in 2004, it was different. It was new. It was exciting. It was like, whoa, this is really psychologically weird. And that was around the same times that Hostel came out, and sort of that gore kind of gore porn that we were kind of in there in the mid 2000s. But after that, I'm not a huge fan of any of the other Saws. I really enjoyed the first Saw, because it's a nice mixture of psychological and horror. But the others, it just sort of became a little too repetitive for me. But that's me. That's me. Michael Myers fan 1001. Hey Dave, you inspired me 8 years ago to get into filmmaking with your short films. 8 years later, and I'm a student at a film academy. Hey, that's great. Congratulations. I hope you're doing well. And that's totally awesome. I'm glad I was able to inspire you that way. That's fantastic. That's great. You were the start for me, man. Thank you so much. Well, hey, I'm honored. I'm very flattered. Keep up the good work. Keep working hard, assuming you are doing good work. But work hard, and you'll be able to accomplish and make some great films. I think that's totally awesome. I'm flattered by that. Thank you. So Michael Myers is in the car now, and he's just driving around the corner, and he's sort of checking Tommy out. He's looking at him like, oh, I remember this kid. He was at my house a little earlier today. Yes, Veda, you're meowing. Come on up here. You want to come up? Come here. Come here. Oh, let's show everybody. It's Halloween. It's the black cat on Halloween. What's shaking? Yeah, you want down? Yeah, you do. You want down. Okay, yeah. She wanted down. Okay, Goku? Is it Goku Mega Man? Gaku Mega Man? Have you seen David Gordon Green's movie Stronger? I have not seen Stronger. Is that the one with Nicolas Cage? I hear it's a really good movie. I think it's on Netflix, and I will make sure to check it out. Okay, guys, just trying to keep up with you here. Happy Halloween. Please listen to my song, the best Halloween song ever. AMW Nightmare in the Trap, right here on YouTube. You'll love it. I'll send me a link, and I'll see if I can remember to check it out. Max Varner. Max Varner says, I feel bad for Rachel in Halloween 5. Yeah, she was the strongest character. If you were going to continue 4, 5, and 6, if you were going to, she was the strongest character. Look, guys, I've always said this. 4 is there's a lot of redeeming qualities about 4. On the whole, I don't think it's a great film, but it's probably the best Halloween sequel outside of Halloween 2, in my opinion. Not everybody agrees with that. There was a lot of potential. What made 4 really suck was Halloween 5. 5 is what did it. 4 was like, okay, we're back. Okay, had some redeeming qualities, great opening, some nice shots. It's far inferior to the first 2, but you're like, okay. And then 5 is what put the nail in the coffin. 5 is what sealed the deal. So if 5 had been as good as 4, this might be a different story. Who knows? Thoughts on Carpenter's anthology album? Love it. Because I love the 80s synth sort of, kind of tone and sound. It sounds very much like what he was doing in the 80s. So I love it. There's 2 or 3 tracks I really love, and I can't remember them now, but totally awesome. Sorry, and that was coming from, sorry about that. That was BVG. BVG! How you doing, BVG? What's BVG? What's BVG stand for? So we're at the scene now where Annie has just come around the corner, and she's walking along with Linda and Laurie, and they're just going to cross the street. The speed kills scene. That's what I'm at right now. This is great too. I mean, this is all in Pasadena, California, what we're looking at here. So there are palm trees literally just on the other side of these trees. When I was down there 2 years ago shooting, I had to be mindful of that. We were setting up shots and, I'd look at them and I'd be like, oh, geez, there's a palm tree. I got to move this. I got to move this around. It looks like they're in the Midwest, sort of. I mean, it has a very sort of California kind of vibe to it, but I buy it. If they say they're in Haddonfield, Illinois, I buy it. I totally buy it. And sprinkling all the leaves on the ground too, of course, really help with that illusion. But yeah, there's parts of Pasadena that look very much like the Midwest, or even up here in Ontario, Canada, in the summer. It looks like that. So. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to keep up with you here. Wow, we got a lot of stuff. Oh, hang on. Hey, Dave, turning in from work and love your channel. Happy Halloween. Thank you, Paul Murphy. I appreciate it. Mike Joseph, H2O sucked. I saw it in the theater. Let's see what's going on here. Mac25 says, hey, Dave, you should do long, in-depth reviews on every Halloween. I'd love to do that. But I've been so busy as of late. I'm working on a new animated cartoon called Worry Eaters. So we're in production on that. We just finished season 1. We're going to start season 2. I think it'll start airing maybe next year at some point. I'm not sure what networks yet. I will keep you posted on that. It's a kid's cartoon, but I've been busy with that and the other voice work as well that I do. So, but to do reviews on all of the Halloween films, yeah, I could. I mean, it probably wouldn't be your typical review. I wouldn't talk about the movie. I mean, I wouldn't go through the whole film because you've already seen it. I would just talk about what I liked and what I didn't like and what I thought they should have done. Cody Archer says, Dave, does it ever bother you that they film most of the Halloween films in the spring? I need my fall foliage. No, it hasn't really bothered me. I think Halloween 4, and I think most fans would agree that Halloween 4 has the best looking sort of the best looking fall kind of environment. And that was shot, I believe that was Salt Lake City, or somewhere down there, or Colorado, or somewhere down there. No, it hasn't really bothered me per se. I mean, look, living in Ontario, Canada, it's not unprecedented that sometimes we get some pretty warm Octobers where the leaves take a long time to change and things like that. So I look at it and I go, oh yeah, maybe that was just the year, who knows. So I haven't really thought about it too much. So I'm just at the scene now where Michael Myers has dipped back behind the bush, and I shot at this location 2 years ago, and it was really awesome to be there. I was standing in full gear, and a LAPD motorcycle cop drove by while I was in the mask while we were setting up for the shot, and I just turned my head and sort of waved at him, and he waved back to me. It was kind of funny. I thought he was going to pull me over. Not pull me over, but, pull over and be like, what the hell are you doing? But he didn't do that. Now, this area, if you've never been to Pasadena, this area looks identical to the way it looks now. Like, this looks like they could have shot this today. Nothing has really changed. I mean, maybe a few more bushes, maybe. But the sidewalks, the lawns, the houses, it looks identical. Totally cool. Dedeco, am I saying that right? Dedeco Zecco. Dave, what do you think of making the new Michael Myers as an entity and not a real thing? Well, like I've said before, guys, you can watch my past videos on that. I've always believed that Michael is human, but he has supernatural elements to him. So he's part human, part supernatural. He's got that supernatural flavor. He's not this immortal Frankenstein being. And I think he is scarier when he's in the shadows and you don't really see him. And, it's like, who is this guy? As Danny McBride said, the guy kind of hiding in the bushes while you take out your trash. I do believe in that sort of thought process in regards to the character, and so did Carpenter. So yeah, I like that. An entity, a spirit? No, I don't think so. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. I mean, if this does take place in present day and this is Michael Myers, well, he's going to be 61 years old, right? I mean, 61. I'm curious to see what they're going to do. But I don't know. I mean, if he's aging, you can't have him go on forever. I mean, and yeah, I don't know. I really need to think about it, but no, I believe that Michael works best when he is a mortal being with supernatural elements. Like you aren't quite sure. You're like, what the fuck is this? Like you're unsure. That's scarier to me. Totally. I don't know if you guys are saying that about me. Probably not. Wow, I've missed a lot of stuff here. You guys are awesome. What do you think of the remakes? Garbage. Saw the first one in the theater in 2007 with my mother. Now, my mother has since passed. She passed away a few years ago, but we went to the theater to see, because she was a big fan of the original. And, the opening scene, I was like, why did I bring my 60-year-old mother to this? Anyway, so no, I'm not a fan at all. Seems suspense is what made movies like Halloween. This is Mark Anthony. Seems like suspense has made movies Halloween. Memorable line, so why isn't that implied today? Because why isn't suspense implied today? I think you mean applied today. Probably because we're desensitized, okay? And we live in an era where we need to see, I don't, and I'm not saying you do, this is a generalization, we need to see everything. If something is slow moving, a slow burn, where you don't see too much, a lot of the generation, a lot of the younger kids are not into that. They don't appreciate the storytelling and the character and the development and the mood and the atmosphere. They want to see blood, guts, and gore and bum, 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 bum. Not you, I'm not saying you, but overall in general, that's sort of what it's like. So, in a nutshell, it's a lost art that is considered today to be boring to a lot of the younger generation, but not to me. I mean, if you know what really scares you, if you understand how to get really into the psyche, because fear is universal. And when you understand that, what scares each and every one of us on the same level, we all experience fear in very similar ways. And when you can tap into that, you can have a universal hit on your mind. Gore isn't scary. Gore is just disgusting. Kills, can be fun, and wow, look at that kill. Wow, that was cool. But there's nothing particularly scary about it. I like deep, like, what the fuck? They're not there in the shadows. What's going on? You know what I mean? I like to get into my head. I like to picture it in my own mind. That's what I like. Anyway, so Laurie has just left her house now. The leaves are blowing, the fake leaves. Well, they're real leaves, actually, but they aren't actually falling. And she's going to walk and sit on the stoop and wait for Annie to come and pick her up. This is... okay, let me see here. Yeah, come on over here, Veda. My cat's name is Veda. She's a girl, so I couldn't call her Vader, so we called her Veda. V-A-D-A, as in Darth Vader. Dave, this is, I'm probably not going to say it right. Auntie, A-N-T-E, Buzz, you know who I'm talking about, right? Dave, what do you expect from this new Halloween? Are you excited about it? I'm expecting something that will go back, that will pay tribute to the original Halloween. That doesn't mean you're going to like it. It doesn't mean I'm going to like it. But I expect that what we will see is A for effort, at the very least. Okay, I don't think we're going to see anything resembling Rob Zombie's films, or 4, 5, 6, or H2O, or Resurrection. I think you will get The Force Awakens vibe to this new Halloween film. And what I mean by, now I'm a big fan of The Force Awakens, some of you may not be, but it felt like a Star Wars movie, it looked like a Star Wars movie. Whether you like it or not, that's a different thing. But I think this new film will at the very least feel and look like the old classic Halloween movie that we love. At the very least. Beyond that, I don't know. I have to know more information as it comes in. Let's go on here. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to... There's a lot of people here. Hey, yeah, I know. How are you? The Warden writes, top 3 acting performance in the Halloween franchise. You're asking me? The Warden wants to know the top 3 acting performances in the Halloween franchise. Acting performances? Well, they're not really known for their acting performances. I mean, Donald Pleasance is great in everything he's in, because it's the subtlety and the sort of the subtlety and the reserve sort of component about his character that makes things always so compelling when he's talking. He's a great actor. I'd have to think on that. I don't really know. I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis, I guess she did. I mean, best acting performances. I've never really thought about the acting when it comes to the Halloween series. I'll have to think on that. It's a good question, though. Red Ranger 241 says, "Are they filming the new Halloween now?" They're supposed to be, buddy. They're supposed to be. They're supposed to start shooting in Charleston, South Carolina. And I heard today that Zac Efron is supposedly attached to the new film. And people are. I don't know if anybody's asked this, but if you have, what are my thoughts on that? I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's. Who knows? I think he has the potential to be a good actor. I think he's in a lot of fluff. So we have this association with him in films like Baywatch or High School Musical. I think he was the one in that, right? And he's kind of, so there's this association that really is Zac Efron. But who knows? You never know. I mean, he's supposed to be a professional actor. He's supposed to be able to act in different genres. That's what you do when you're an actor. Some do it better than others. Will he do it? I don't know. I'll be able to judge more, maybe have more of an opinion when I know who he's actually playing in the film. So, I don't know about that. Sailor Orangel, maybe that's an anime character. I'm not too sure. I apologize if I apologize if I am butchering anybody's name. By the way, we are at the scene where, at least I am, where the car is pulling up in front of the hardware store, and Sheriff Brackett, the naive, stupid Sheriff Brackett, who can't smell pot at all, is talking to Annie and Laurie. That's where I am right now. And the Myers house right now, as it sits right now, is literally across the street from the hardware store. This is no longer a hardware store. I believe it's a restaurant. I went in there to use the bathroom as well. It's a restaurant now. I forget the name of it. But the Myers house today in 2017 sits literally across the street. Those train tracks there you kind of see in the background. There's a part of the LA Metro, I guess, runs across there. Actually, I can see right now the little field where the house, that's where the house sits right now. It's kind of cool. Anyways, Donald Pleasance is walking up to Sheriff Brackett, and they're having their little conversation outside of the hardware store. Tommy was in H6, but was Lindsay in any other film? Tommy was in H6. I think wasn't Lindsay in Halloween 4? Wasn't there some actress was supposed to be Lindsay or something like that? Or that was supposed to be the Lindsay? I'm not too sure on that. If it was, that's pretty freaking weak. Now, okay, yeah, I should have mentioned this before. Oh well, not a big deal. The Shape 1978 says, not a Halloween related question, but what do you think of Monster Squad? Monster Squad 1987. One of my favorite movies. In 1987 I was 8. And one of my favorite movies as a kid, of course, right up there with the Goonies and everything. I watched Monster Squad about 1.5 years ago because I have it on DVD, and it doesn't hold up as well. I mean, it's good, it's okay, but I kind of watched it and I was like, this is not as good as I remembered. Where you watch the Goonies and you're like, okay, yeah, it's a 1985 movie, but it holds up pretty good, The characters are pretty good, are pretty solid, you know what I mean? But that, of course, you got Richard Donner involved, you got Spielberg involved, two guys you didn't have with the Monster Squad. So, yeah, funny you bring that up. Oh, yeah, I never know how to pronounce, Lord Bite Me Man, Lord Bite Me Man. Hey, buddy, how you doing? The sections on my DVD are titled. In a couple, we have a thing titled 420 Car Ride. That's funny. That's hilarious. Well, hey, that will definitely make you know what it is, right? So now, what's really fascinating here, I'm now at the scene where they are pulling up to the Doyle house, and it's dark. It suddenly goes dark like that, right? This is actually, I actually think the name of the street is actually Orange Grove, and it's off Sunset Boulevard and Hollywood Boulevard. No, sorry, not Hollywood. Is it Hollywood Boulevard? Hollywood Boulevard to the north, Sunset Boulevard to the south, I think, something like that. Anyway, it was literally when I was in Los Angeles, I was staying at the Roosevelt Hotel on Hollywood Boulevard, and this is literally like maybe a 10-minute walk from where I was staying. This street is off of Sunset Boulevard, so that's pretty cool. And then just down the street from this location is the Nightmare on Elm Street house. Yeah, they're literally like within 5-minute walk from each other. So that's pretty awesome. So I'm at the scene. Michael is just coming up to the tree now and is spying on Lindsay, who's gone over to the Wallace house to babysit. Sorry, guys, I'm scrolling up here. I see a lot of conversation. Just want to make sure I don't read. Have we started yet? Need a slash? Hang on. Oh yeah, 9:27. That was a little while ago. I gotta really scroll here. Sorry, guys. I'm behind. I'm behind. And again, I apologize if I don't get to your question. It's nothing personal. It's just, a lot of people are talking and asking questions, so I'm sure you can imagine it's hard to keep up and watch the movie as well. So nothing personal. Aaron Reeves says, who do you think will be in the new Halloween? Who do I think will be in the new Halloween? Well, we know that Jamie Lee Curtis is. We know that Judy Greer is. And we know that Zac Efron maybe. I don't know. When it comes to horror movies, it's not usually A-list talent, although Zac Efron's not really A-list talent. He's almost there. He is a known name. Judy Greer, of course, is certainly not a known name. Jamie Lee Curtis is, but of course she's not doing much right now. I don't think you're going to see, Halloween 2018 starring Jamie Lee Curtis, Harrison Ford, and Tom Hanks. It's not going to be like that. I can tell you that. Because it's Blumhouse, right? And they have a low budget, so they got to keep things low. Because that's what they specialize in. Noah Boyder. Hey Dave, what are your thoughts on all the Friday the 13th cancellations in the last few years? Good. I'm glad because I don't want a Friday the 13th movie that's going to suck. So if they feel they need to cancel it or the script's not right, great. I understand there's a lot of people that are like, how hard is it to write a Friday the 13th movie? Look, personally, I think they should reboot the Friday the 13th franchise all over and start with Friday the 13th 1. And I think the marketing should not tell us whether it's Jason or the mother. You could reboot the franchise like they tried to do in 2009 with Jason, or you could reboot the franchise again and sort of really go back to the roots and have it be his mother. But I think it would be really cool if none of us knew until we went into the theater. I think some people would have expectations, of course, right? You know what I'm saying? Oh, I want to be Jason. I want to be the mother. Oh, it was the mother. Oh, fuck, that sucks. No, I think it's great if it would be the mother. But I think the marketing should be like, we don't know. Go back to the roots. Make it a creepy, eerie, dark, psychological campfire in the woods. Somebody's out there like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Really kind of mature, like a little more mature than you would expect. Not totally mature because then you sort of lose the Friday the 13th flavor, but just a little bit more mature. That's what I would do. And if that's not what they're going to do, I'm glad they've canceled it because I don't want to see something that sucks. And I think they need to do the same thing with A Nightmare on Elm Street as well. Anyways, I'm at the scene now where Donald Pleasance is about to begin his famous monologue here with his, the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. He's standing in the Myers house right now with Sheriff Brackett. This is a great shot. The lighting here is really awesome. And Sheriff Brackett is just sort of standing there listening. And, it is undoubtedly, and of course all of this stuff was written by John Carpenter, and all of the dialogue between all of the girls was written by Deborah Hill. This stuff is strong. This stuff is, if you see me spit, I apologize. I apologize for that. My mouth seems to be really dry for some reason. Maybe I should have a chocolate. Hey, it's Halloween. I'm gonna have a chocolate. I'm gonna bust out the chocolate. So yeah, scrolling up, guys. It's great to see you guys talking back and forth. This is awesome. Chase, yeah, Dave, is the new one going to be the last one? I don't know. Maybe. If it bombs, probably. If it's a huge financial success, no. Because money talks, and this is about money. And if they can make a movie that does really, really well, financially and critically, they'll make another one. They'll figure it out. You may not see it the next year, but they'll figure it out. Oh, they'll figure it out. So Laurie is just on the couch here with Tommy. Tommy busts out his comic books. Tarantula Man, Neutron Man. Laurie, what's the boogeyman? In my movie Halloween, the Night He Came Back, our actor William Reel, who played the older version of Tommy, in case you guys didn't get that, for those of you who have seen The Night He Came Back, he was supposed to be the 46-year-old or 48-year-old Tommy Doyle. He's a friend of mine, And he looks like he could be an older version of Brian Andrews. And he's an actor, and I said, I got to get you in this. And he's like, yeah, let's do it. So that was a lot of fun. He certainly looks more like Tommy Doyle than, what's his face? God, I forget his name now. Paul Rudd in Halloween 6. Paul Rudd looks nothing like... I hate that. I hate when they do that kind of shit. So yeah, so how you guys doing? Where are you guys at? Where are you guys at here? I'm going to scroll up. Oh, I got to get to the... Whoops. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so Laurie's on the phone talking to Annie. And it's a great hairdo. Mm-hmm. Yeah. She was in The Fog as well. Wasn't she? Yeah, she was. Knoxville, Tennessee. Pittsburgh. Michigan. Vegas. Is this where all you guys are from? That's great. West Virginia. This is great. Wow, that's totally awesome, guys. This shot right here. When Tommy looks through the window and sees Michael Myers' silhouette against the Wallace house. Just one of my favorite shots of the whole film. Now, for those of you who don't know, that's actually Deborah Hill standing there. And of course, we're far away, so we can't see that, she's actually only like 5'2" or whatever she was. But it actually is Deborah Hill standing there. But it's creepy. It was always one of my favorite shots. That's the great thing actually about watching old horror movies on VHS was they were not processed for high definition because they weren't high definition. So you get a lot of the moodier atmosphere on the VHS because it's darker and you kind of, you know what I mean? Whereas on Blu-ray, I've noticed that, especially watching A Nightmare on Elm Street, I noticed that a lot of the things that I thought were dark and creepy, when you watch it on Blu-ray, it's actually like, oh, I can see that really clearly. I'm not a big fan. Some movies transfer to Blu-ray really, really, really well, like Jaws. It looks like I'm watching a movie that came out today. It's so good. Some movies I'm like, that transfer doesn't do very well. I understand why they do it. Halloween's not bad. Halloween's fine. Halloween, and Dean Cundy was in charge of all this too. So yeah, I mean it's okay. But some old movies transfer to Blu-ray better than others. Not all of them. Yeah, you're welcome, Noah. No problem. Max Varner. If she married Ben Tramer, Jamie Lloyd wouldn't have been born. That's very true. Or maybe she would have, but she'd be known as like Jamie Tramer. I don't know. So Annie is just putting, what's she doing here? Baking soda on her butter stain. Michael's just killed the dog. This is cool. I always like the shot. Now that's actually the dog trainer in the jumpsuit. And that shot was slowed down. It's supposed to look like the dog is dying, right? And the leg kind of falls down. The shot was slowed down. It might have even been reversed too. The shot was slowed down though, to create that effect, to create that illusion. Howard Hawks' production, The Thing, which is kind of funny. It's a coincidence that 4 or 5 years later, Carpenter would release his own version of The Thing. So that's kind of cool. What do we got here? La 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 la. How do you feel, Michael Myers fan 1001? How do you feel about the fact Michael raped Jamie, his niece, in H6? Personally, not a fan of things like that. Ruin the run. Yeah, we don't know. Was it rape? I haven't seen 6 in a long time. I mean, obviously it was, whatever it wasn't good. I don't like Halloween 6 at all. So I don't like the whole movie. I don't like the whole Thorn thing. I don't like the whole cult thing. I don't like the whole black magic. It's just kind of like, I am a huge proponent of the absence of character and the absence of motive. Now, there are redeeming qualities about those films. I can watch Halloween 6 and go, I like that. I like that moment. I like that shot. I like what they did there. But I'm not a fan of where they took the narrative or the story. I can watch H2O and go, you know what? I kind of like that shot. I can watch Resurrection and go, I like that moment. I like that shot. I like this scene. But I hate the movie. and that's because it ran away from, it didn't become scary to me. Michael just became another slasher. And what I liked about Michael was he was really like the boogeyman. And it's the same reason why I didn't like Freddy in the later sequels, because Freddy was just this wisecracking clown. He wasn't scary. He was just, and he hardly ever used his glove in the later sequels. He would scrape things, but whatever. I don't know. I don't like where they took Freddy, and I didn't like where they took Michael either. So not much to say on that, really. So we're at the scene now where Annie is just, she's in the laundry room, and she's opened the door, and she's like, "Paul, you son of..." "Oh, there's nobody here." So she's going to close the door, and of course we had just seen that shot through the curtains where you kind of see his face. Love that shot. Love that. I mean, I can imagine in 1978, which was the year before I was born, I can imagine watching this movie in 78, and this would have been frightening. You see, now it's not frightening. It's great. We can appreciate it for what it is and what they did and go, yeah, yeah, yeah. But watching this in 1978, it's like no one had seen this before. For all intents and purposes, right? It's like this was a scary fucking movie. This was scary. This was really scary. Would have been totally awesome to be in that theater watching this for the very first time. I would have loved it. I'm busting out another chocolate. It's Halloween. Everyone's entitled to one good chocolate, right? So Annie is, Lindsay, get the phone. It's Paul. That's where I am right now. This is really I mean, Dean Cundy did a great job with the lighting. With the blue light. The aspect ratio is fantastic. I believe it's anamorphic. And I think it is. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Yeah. Come on in, Veda. She's wondering who the hell I'm talking to. I'm staring at my phone. Who the hell are you talking to? The Fog film was decent. I liked The Fog. I liked Carpenter's The Fog. Wasn't a huge fan of it. But see, there again, the remake from 2005, there were moments where I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that. Oh, that's how I feel about a lot of horror movies today. Why did you do that? You know what I mean? You shouldn't have done that. Oh, what are you doing, Veda? I think she's trying to get my attention. Come here. I think she's got a toy. So now we're looking at Annie's underwear as she bends over. Lindsay is trying to get her attention. They're going to leave the laundry room and the laundry room in just a second. Did you guys have a great Halloween, by the way? How was your Halloween? It's what is it, 10 to 10 now? Hope you guys had a good Halloween. Does Michael play with people? Not sure what that's supposed to mean. Maybe, I don't know. Like, hey man, you want to play some cars? I got some dinky cars here. Yeah, maybe he does. I don't know. Poor doggy. Yeah. Sorry guys, I got to scroll again. If I don't answer your question, it's nothing personal. There's just a lot of stuff here. Bones and the Necro Zoo. Okay, Dave, would you cast an actor as New Myers or a stuntman? I don't think it matters, but I would cast somebody who understands the character of Michael Myers and understands the movements and what made Michael Myers from Halloween 1. You can study Dick Warlock, but Dick Warlock had more of a mechanical, methodical approach. Nick Castle is my favorite portrayal of the Shape. If I was in charge of the new film, that's what I would do. This is what you have to do. This is who you have to emulate. Make it your own, but this is the flavor of what we're going for. And whether that's a stuntman or an actor, I don't think it matters. But it certainly wouldn't be somebody who's 6'7", 285 pounds. It would be somebody who's, 5'10", 5'11", 6 feet, just a normal guy, as Nick Castle was and is. Somebody asked me the other day, they should get Nick Castle again. Look, I met Nick Castle a couple years ago. He's 60-something years old. He's got a pot belly. He's not fat. He just has, a little bit of a pot belly. He's not going to, hey, Nick, you want to play Michael? Okay. I mean, come on. He's not going to want to play Michael again. Let's get serious. So now Annie is leaving the Wallace house and walking across the street. This is where they're going to pass by the car and... What the hell is that? Anyway, oh, there it is. She's now walking into the Doyle house, and this house looks the same. I mean, there's some differences. There are. But if you've watched Halloween the Night He Came Back, my fan film, Lauren in the movie walks right past the Doyle house. And I don't draw much attention to it because I pan with her as we go by it. But I wanted to get that there. I didn't want to focus on it, but I wanted to show you that, wow, I'm actually in Haddonfield here. You know what I mean? Kind of cool. Very cool to be the first fan film to actually do that. Halloween fan film. So Annie's just inside the Doyle house now talking to Laurie. This is a cute scene. I mean, it's talking about Ben Tramer and, well, I want you to call him back. And no, he went out drinking late with his friends and he won't be back, or whatever she says there. Lee Mooring, have you liked any of the horror remakes? Any of the horror remakes? You mean like horror in general? Have I liked any of the horror remakes in general? I didn't mind Jackie Earle Haley. Jackie Earle Haley. Am I saying that right? I didn't mind him as Freddy Krueger. I thought everything around him was brutal. And there's reasons for that. You can, I think I mentioned in a couple of videos. Maybe I don't. I don't know. There's reasons for that, but I didn't mind him as Freddy. I think there was a lot of potential there. I liked that he was dark and scary. I mean, at least we had that. I mean, there are certain things that Robert Englund brings to the character of Freddy that are, unique. But horror remakes that I liked, any horror remakes that I liked? Horror remakes. I don't know. I don't see too many of the horror remakes. And a lot of the, if it's a horror remake of a classic, like, Prom Night or Black Christmas, I'm like, I don't want to see it. I just don't want to see it. I'm tainted. Because I look at the trailers and I go, there's nothing about this that makes me want to see it. So I haven't seen too many of the horror remakes, if that's what you're talking about in general. I've seen the Halloween remakes and, well, I could barf over that. But anyway, hopefully that answers your question. I'm just looking for questions here, guys. I don't feel you have to ask. I just, if you see me going like this, it's only because... Sorry, just looking for questions. How was the new It movie? I liked it. No pun intended. I liked it. I thought it was good. I thought they could have utilized Pennywise a bit more. Because you have to remember, Pennywise isn't a clown. Pennywise is a thing. Whatever it is, it's an it. And it manifests itself as a clown because it can gain the trust of little kids. So they see him as a clown, but he isn't physically a clown himself. And I just thought he was underutilized. I liked what he looked like. The dynamic between the kids was really good and everything like that, but it wasn't, I didn't find it scary. Not like deep, like psychological, like David Fincher 7 scary. No, I found it more like a haunted house at an amusement park scary, where the thrills are kind of like, and you're kind of laughing afterwards. It was Goonies meets Stranger Things almost. You know what I mean? It was just kind of like, it was scary, but yeah, it was good. It was good. I give it a B+. But I wanted to see a darker It. I wanted to see a really scary It, where I left the theater going, wow. And I didn't. But that doesn't mean it's a bad film. Dave, what brand of coveralls did you use in The Night He Came Back? I don't know the brand. They're old coveralls I've used for years. I bought them at Walmart probably about 10 years ago. And whatever Walmart sold there is what I bought. Yeah, that's what I bought. Why did this is Harmonicator? If I am butchering all your names, I do apologize. Harmonicator? Why did they pop the collar in the original H2? Never looked right. Well, actually, Michael Myers' collar is popped in this film as well. This is a great shot, by the way. Sorry to interrupt, but this is a great shot with Tommy looking through the window and seeing Michael Myers carrying Annie into the house. Always love that shot. Like, the kid's like, what the fuck was that? You know what I'm saying? Which means I completely just missed the scene with him killing Annie in the car, which was a great scene, by the way. But you guys obviously watched it because you're supposed to be watching along with me. Yeah, totally... Such a great. I just love that shot. There's such a disconnect. Tommy is seeing the boogeyman. He saw the boogeyman's, silhouette. Now he sees this man carrying this woman up these, like, it's just, there's this separation, this disconnect of the security over here, but something bad happening there. But because you're so close to the bad, you're vulnerable. Do you know what I'm saying? And he's a child, and he's like, I'm safe at the moment. I just love that shot. I love the way that shot was crafted. Totally awesome. Simple, but very effective. That's the kind of shit I love. Anyway, now we're cutting back to the Myers house, and Donald Pleasance, I think this is where Lonnie and his friends come up to the house.
Lonnie, get your ass away from there.
That's where we are right now. That's where I am. James Pye, P-Y-E, James Pye. Have you read the novelization, Dave? I have not. You mean to Halloween or to It? If you're talking about It, I have not. I've read bits and pieces of It, actually, but not the full thing. And if there's a novelization to Halloween, I have not read that either. That's a good question, though. Yeah, I thought that was weird. This is Michael Audrey Myers, H2O. Yeah, I thought that was weird. Bob is one hell of a freak. I know what you're talking about. It is a weird line. I've always thought it was a weird line. You certainly couldn't do that now. You know what I'm talking about. You certainly couldn't have that in a movie now. I'll tell you that. That just wouldn't be written there. Hopefully my camera's not might be leaning a little bit. I apologize for that if I'm leaning a little bit here. Anyway, Sheriff Brackett and Dr. Loomis are talking outside of the Myers house. I watched him for 15 years, sitting in a room, staring at the wall, not seeing the wall, looking past the wall, looking at this night, inhumanly patient. Death has come to your little town, Sheriff. You can either ignore it or help me to stop it. Doctor. Like, God damn it! Listen to what I'm saying! Can you imagine? They get into a fight. There's a huge fight happening. You know what I mean? There's like punching and, he takes out his gun, shoots Sheriff. It's a whole different movie, folks. Lordy, lordy, lordy. Just gonna get to the people wise. Sorry, I'm just looking for stuff here. 49 or fan TX. God, these are some pretty involved names, guys. Anyways, 49er. Oh, 49er fan. 49er fan. San Francisco 49ers. Sorry. Too much chocolate. Do you think they will have a scene where they show Michael Myers' picture? The media always be on instances like this, and they show the... you mean the person who's going to play Michael Myers, do you think? I hope they don't. They might. Who knows? It's 2017. They might, but I hope they don't. I hope we actually don't know who it is. That's the way that I would totally go about it. That was a good question, actually. Yeah. Dave, you should be the new Loomis. Yeah, I could be his grandson. I could be his grandson. I'm 38, so I definitely could be his... I couldn't be his son. I don't think I'm old enough. Because his son... If they were to shoot a Halloween movie now, his son would be... his son would probably be in his 50s. You know what I'm saying? So I'm probably about 10, 12 years too young to be Loomis's son. But I could be his grandson. And I'm half British, just to let you guys know. I am half British. My mother was born in England. Maybe I'm related to Loomis. To Donald Pleasance. Maybe I'm related to Pleasance! I gotta look into that. Ancestry.ca. Maybe there's an ancestry.com too. .ca is Canada. Favorite version of H1. The Shape says favorite version of H1, Dave. Favorite version of H1? Oh, you mean I just like the theatrical cut. The TV version of Halloween, I get it. I get why they shot the scenes they did. And it does make watching Halloween The TV version of Halloween makes Halloween 2 feel more fulfilled and complete. And because of that, it makes Halloween feel more fulfilled. And I get that. And if you love the brother-sister angle and you love that storyline, then you will appreciate and love the TV version of Halloween. But I don't think it's necessary. And don't get me wrong, I don't hate Halloween 2. I actually like Halloween 2. I don't like it as much as the first one, but I like Halloween 2. I do. I've always enjoyed both. I consider that the series. Now they're negating that, but because I'm a huge proponent of what the original Halloween was and what it was supposed to be, I'm cautiously optimistic about doing that. It's like, okay, we're gonna make an alternate timeline. Okay, show me what you got, and then I'll make a decision. But I'm not jumping on any bandwagon either way until I know more information. That's the kind of guy I am. Bob and Linda are on the couch. Linda's talking to Laurie about how Lindsay's over there. I think this... Oh, no. We already got past the tearing Lindsay's clothes off thing. Man. Just looking for some questions. I see a lot of comments. This is great, guys. Love your comments. I see dead people. Do you? Totally. Mike Joseph. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Totally. Hello. Wendy / Cootie Pie Koopa. Hello.
Well, hello there, Wendy. What's going on?
Thoughts on New Nightmare? I like New Nightmare because it's the darkest since the original. Or since 2. I mean, 2, I know 2, not a lot of people like 2, but it is still quite dark in its own way. I like New Nightmare because I thought it's an acquired taste. It's a little unorthodox the way they went about it, but for effort, I appreciate what they decided to do, and I really like that Freddy is scary again. So that's why I enjoy it. Yeah, I like New Nightmare. I want my Freddy scary. That's what I want. I don't want wisecracking Freddy playing fucking video games. Whoa, rock on. Far out. What the hell is that crap? Bob and Linda are in bed. They're in bed right now. Bob has taken the phone off the hook. Here's the sex scene. That's right. You got to have one in a horror movie. Even I had one in the night he came back. No, I mean, not me, but of course I made it seem like it was in the shower off camera. But yeah, some people were like, yeah, what's going on in there? Oh, it's in the shower. That was all done in post-production, by the way. There was actually nobody in the shower. Bob's pretty quick. I gotta say, sex is fast in this movie. If you think back to I think I'm spinning again. If you think back to the opening scene with Judith and her boyfriend, that was like, 1 minute man. Bob's not 1 minute man. But Bob's kind of, although we did cut in and they were already having sex. So let's say Bob had been having sex for like half an hour. Yeah, we got to give it to Bob. We got to give it to Bob. He was having sex for half an hour. We intruded in the last 30 seconds. Okay, all right. Because if he had just started, Bob's pretty fucking quick too. So Bob's getting out of bed and walking downstairs. Go get me a beer. Why don't you get me one? Yeah. Yeah. Go get me one. Can you imagine? Like, what the hell is going on in this movie all of a sudden? This is a great shot a great scene, of course. And there's no music here. There's no music. Bob's opening the fridge. All you hear is, the ambient sounds of the environment. The fridge opening, the fridge closing. Bob opening his beer, going over to the counter, setting the beer on the counter. It's quiet, and there's that anticipation. There's that build-up, which is great. And then, of course, the door kind of goes, a little bit. And he's like, well, that's a little strange. What's that? And he walks over there, Linda, Annie, or whatever he says. I have the volume down so I can't hear it. But this is great. This is a great scene. There's still no music here. Because you don't need music. You don't need music here. Until, of course, he opened and said, all right, you asshole. And then boom, which is coming right here. Here it comes. And boom, there he comes. Nick Castle comes out, is choking Bob, lifts Bob up with one hand, or I guess it would be with his left hand, because he's going to stab him with his right hand. That's a great shot. Notice the angle, looking at Michael, the angle is low. It's a lower angle shot because you want to give Michael the sense of power, the sense of authority. And it's a beautiful shot with the glare on the blade of the knife and then stabbing him into the wall. There's no way a butcher knife would hold a 175-pound man to the wall. But hey, Michael just really nailed it in there. He really nailed it in there. It was cute. It was cute. I like it. And the head tilt side to side. This is the first time we see it. The head tilt side to side. For those of you doing Halloween fan films and Michael Myers videos, remember, when you tilt your head, don't go like this. Don't go like this. It's very subtle. It's just like this. It's just like this. And then back, and then maybe like this. But don't do this. Don't do this. Don't look like, don't do this, because then it looks like you're trying to look around the camera. Okay? Remember that. Subtle. You got to be subtle. His movements were subtle and methodic. Yes, Linda. So I'm at the scene now. I don't know where you guys are, but I'm at the scene now where we have Linda saying,
See anything you like?
that's where I am right now. Dave, would Wyatt Russell be a good choice to play Tommy Doyle if he returns? Can you, Wyatt Russell, I know that name. Can you comment and let me, and hopefully I'll see it. There's a ton of comments here, but can you let me know who Wyatt Russell is again? I know that name. Sorry, buddy. Paul Rudd was okay as Tommy. Oh, Paul Rudd was fine. He's a fine actor. He just didn't look anything like Brian Andrews. David Lucas, would you rather have seen Nick Castle's face as Michael at the end? I don't think it makes a difference. I think it would have been interesting because Nick Castle is sort of just kind of a plain Jane. Not Jane, obviously, that's, the female version. But, he's just a plain looking guy. He's not, he's not a movie star kind of looking guy. I think that would have been fine. Especially in 1978. He just kind of looks like this goofy kind of guy. No offense, Nick, but you know what I mean, right? So yeah, I would have been okay with that. I would have been fine with that. But in the end, I don't think it makes a difference, really, in the end. I mean, who cares? ABC Def, Dave, you should move to the real Myers house in Hollywood. I should move there. Well, it's actually a business. Nobody can live there. It's, I believe there's a law office there, maybe a real estate office or an insurance office. There's a couple of businesses now that work out of the Myers house. Sorry, I'm just going back here. Chad Irvin, Dave, did Dick Warlock do a better job than Nick? No, he did a different. He was different enough that they're very difficult to compare. You're either. I think you can compare George P. Wilbur more to Nick more than you can Dick Warlock. Not because George did what Nick did or is as good as Nick, but there's more similarities there in terms of the execution. Dick was very different, very mechanical, robotic in some points and things like that, and not in some others. So he was different enough that you tend to either be, Halloween fans tend to either be a Dick Warlock fan or a Nick Castle fan, and I'm a Nick Castle fan. I like Dick Warlock's portrayal, but if I had to choose, I would choose Nick Castle. And then there's some people that are like, well, I like Nick Castle, but if I had to choose, I would choose Dick Warlock. And I think some people, they're different enough that I think that's sort of where it lands. But I'm more of a Nick Castle kind of guy because he was just sort of walking. He was just kind of there. He was a guy. He wasn't going down the steps like this and doing it. Where now Michael it's clear that he's some sort of methodical robot almost. There's like a machine element to him, and I just like the way that Nick played him. So now we're moving. Dr. Loomis is running down the street. He's seen the car now, and the car's been down the street the whole time, ladies and gentlemen. The car has been down the street the whole time, and he's looking at the car. The Halloween theme is playing. You hear the wind, you see the leaves blowing across the screen. This is great. The Halloween theme continues to play as Laurie is looking at the camera. She obviously gets a cue from somebody beside the camera to walk down the the little hallway and down the steps because she's about to walk across the street to find out what the hell is going on. Why are my friends not picking up the phone? Why do I see the light turn on and then off? This is great. I don't know what she's doing here. She's getting the keys, right? The keys! Oh, the keys! That's what she's getting. And she opens the door. And of course, this interior is actually not the exterior. What we're looking at right now with Laurie on the porch, the interior of that house, which we just saw, is not the same. The interior is actually just across the street. Not at the Wallace house, but the house sort of a couple of doors down to the left of the Wallace house is the interior of the Doyle house. And the interior of the Wallace house is a couple of doors down on the side of the Doyle house to the right, if you know what I'm saying, right? So they actually used 4 houses, 2 interiors, 2 exteriors. Because if you notice, actually, the door on the exterior of the Doyle house opens the opposite way than it does, or opens the opposite way than the interior does. So I remember noticing that as a kid and thinking,
Well, that's a little strange.
very perceptive at 10. Yeah. It's a dental office that now occupies the Myers house. Is it a dental office? Are you sure about that? I'm not saying you're wrong. I don't remember seeing the dental office on the sign, though, when I was there. Now, that was 2 years ago. I know on the sign outside, I think there is an insurance office and law office or something, but I don't remember seeing something to do with dental. But you could be right. You could be right. Robert Lee says, Dave, to me with the tombstone in the bed, was that the sister and brother setup? Dave, to me with the tombstone in the bed, was that the sister and brother setup? I'm sorry, Rob, I'm not trying, what are you trying to ask there? To me with the tombstone in the bed, was that the sister and brother? Oh, was that the sister and brother setup? I see what you're saying. Was he alluding to the fact that he was alluding to that Laurie was next in terms of you have the tombstone alluding to the fact that you're also my sister? That's pretty cool. That's foreshadowing. No, if you want to get serious, no, because Carpenter, when he was making the film, there was no intention to ever have Laurie as Michael's sister. So in reality, no, that's not what it means. But now that we have what we have in Halloween 2, you could see it that way. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I'll kill you if this is a joke. Yeah, can you imagine? She goes crazy and she kills everybody. I hope the mask, Lee Morning says, I hope the mask in the new one doesn't look bad like it. I hope so too. Now I know that today Jamie Lee Curtis, there was a promotional image released on Jamie Lee Curtis's Twitter account that showed her lying on the ground sort of head to head with a Michael Myers. And some people have asked me, do you think that's the mask? Probably not. It could be, but probably not. You have to remember that promotional image was probably taken a while ago and is being released now. It's just a promotional image. It's nothing more than that. It could be. I'm not saying it isn't, but probably not. It's probably just somebody's mask that they have. A lot of people now have those independent masks, right? From the independent mask makers and from the Kirk molds and things like that. And I don't doubt that somebody at Blumhouse or Trancas probably has a non-licensed Michael Myers mask as well, because they look like Michael Myers. So that's what they just probably use that for the promotional shot. But who knows? Maybe. But the image itself is just, yeah. I mean, I like how they have her shirt torn and the blood, and it's not going to be like that in the movie, obviously, because that's just sort of a throwback and a nod to the film from 40 years ago. So it's just a promotional shot saying, hey, we are making the movie. See you next year. That's all it is. Don't think too much about it. The Zac Efron thing is more important if you want to boil it down. I heard the Myers house is now a dentist's office. Yeah, it might be, Chase. It could very well be. I didn't see it. It might be. Yep, it could be. Mark Varner says Don Shanks was the best Michael Myers. I don't think so, but Don, Mark, I respect your opinion. Yeah, so where I am right now in the movie is Laurie is walking towards the bedroom now. This is a great shot with just the door open a crack with the light coming along the floor like that. It's a great shot, you know, and this kind of mood and build up and suspense and tension is fantastic. And what I like this here too, I like when she opens the door and there's nothing. It's just the creaking of the door slowly opening, and then there's the music sting right here. You know what I mean? And it's like, what the hell is this, right? Beautiful light on the tombstone. And it lingers long enough that you can actually read it, which is good. It might linger actually a little too long. But of course, Laurie's like, what the hell is going on? And then of course we get all the bodies coming out of everywhere. It's great. It's a great moment. It's a great moment. Seeing her friends. Of course, is this half of Linda's body? I think this is half of Linda's body in the closet. Is that just half her body? Somebody comment and let me know. I think that might just be half her body, which means Michael just cut her up and stuck half of her in the closet, unless she's like really tangled in there. That's creepy. And of course, this is an amazing shot. A great shot, Laurie leaning against the wall, and we have Michael Myers' face slowly emerging from the darkness. Brilliant. And he steps forward with the knife and stabs her in the shoulder, and of course she falls down. And then of course we hear for the first time the shape stalks. Bump, ba-bump, bump. That shot there where he just came around the corner and you see kind of he passes through the light. That's a great shot. Just little things like that I love about this film. He's coming down the stairs, and Laurie is trying to get away, and this is great. This is a great moment. It's a great moment. And in 1978, watching this film, this would have been really, really scary. This would have been terrifying. You know, it's so funny to watch this now because obviously there are some things that are dated. It's my favorite horror movie, but you know, you can't deny reality and you can't deny the obvious that some things are a little dated. Laurie trying to open the door with a rake, and the only thing that's preventing her, you know, is a rake. It's kind of like, okay, come on. If your life is on the line, bust through that door, Laurie. Okay? And she breaks the breakaway glass. Here's a continuity error here. There's some glass on the close-up, and then we go to the medium shot. There's no glass. So a little bit of an angle continuity error, but nothing that changes the face of the film. And Laurie is running, somebody help me, please. That's where I am. Help me. This is great. This is great. She's really scared. I really like that she goes up to the porch and she's banging on the door. They kind of peer through the window. They turn on the porch light, but then they're like, screw this. You know, because they're thinking that it's a joke. They're thinking that because, you know, kids have been playing some jokes throughout the night. I think even Sheriff Brackett said that's kind of been happening. And they probably think that it's a joke. And I'm not fucking open the door for you, bitch. Just stop. And of course she runs. This is a great moment. She runs back to the Doyle house, is knocking on the door. I'm at the moment where you get the keys. Oh, the keys. And then you start to see them. And some people have even asked, you know, Nick, what were you doing in that whole time? Like, Laurie was running up to the house, banging on the door. Where were you? And Nick Castle was, he said, well, you know, even Michael Myers has to go to the bathroom. I mean, he was just taking a pee break. Because, you know, if you think about it logically, he was right on her tail when she busted through that door. He was right there. And there was like 2 minutes that go by where he's nowhere. Maybe he stopped to tie his shoes. Maybe that's what he did. That's what we'll say he did. He stopped to tie his shoes because he doesn't want to trip crossing the street. But the shot of Michael crossing the street and coming into the light and then into the darkness and then into the light and then into the darkness. Brilliant. Just amazing. And he's just walking. He's not going like this. You know, he's just walking. It's just, you know, just walk, right? That's what Carpenter said. Just walk. Totally awesome. Mash tier 10. Sorry if I'm butchering this. Dave, did it bother you that Michael could drive? No, not really. I mean, you know, it is what it is. It's one of those things that you go, huh, that's kind of funny. But the rest of the film is so good. And because Michael is so eerie and he has those supernatural elements, it's almost as if, I okay, he can drive. Okay, I buy it. Well, there's something really weird about him anyway. He's there, he's not there. He's amongst the curtains the laundry, and then he's not. And it's kind of like, well, okay, if he can do that, I guess he can drive. So, I mean, it's one of those things where, yeah, it's kind of, oh, I guess he can drive. But the fact that they make light of it as well, right? Dr. Loomis says, or Dr. Wynn says, for Christ's sakes, he can't even drive a car. Well, he was doing very well last night. Maybe someone around here gave him lessons. So they kind of, point to the fact that, yeah, we know. And you're like, okay, yeah. So he's like, I don't know how the hell he's driving. So now he's like, brings you in on it, so now we're kind of all in on it. Like even Loomis is like, what the hell? So yeah, it is what it is. Laurie just stabbed Michael in the neck with a knitting needle, and he's fallen to the ground. And now we go to the outside shot of Loomis continuing to walk the streets looking for Michael Myers. And this, of course, is where Sheriff Brackett pulls up in the car. And Dr. Loomis says, I found the car. He's 3 doors down. You go downtown, take the front. I found the car. Okay, Doctor, okay. 20 System Nation. Hi, Dave. Been looking forward to this all month. Oh, thanks very much. It will be, once we're done here, it'll just go up on my channel so you guys can watch it again. And again, I apologize for the questions I haven't got to, but there's a lot of people asking questions and making comments, and I got to scroll, and I want to pay attention to the movie and let you guys know where I am. But yeah, so just let you guys know. It was 10:11. That was a long time ago. Sorry about that, buddy. Dave, what part are you at? Well, I'm at the part now where Laurie is... Okay, now this is my favorite part. I don't know where you guys are, but this is my favorite part. So I'm at the part where... One of my favorite parts. Laurie has just come up the stairs. Tommy, Lindsay, they're hugging. And of course, I have a line in my Halloween fan film that Tommy says, I was right. You can't kill the boogeyman. And this is... it's a playback to this moment when Tommy says, right here, I'm at the moment right now, I killed him. You can't kill the boogeyman. And then the camera rack focuses to Michael Myers behind her. And this shot is just great. This is the first time we're really seeing Michael Myers' mask with any sort of real clarity. But you don't see it too long and not too much. And he begins to walk down the hallway, and the camera angle is low, not to give Michael height, to give Michael power, okay? To create this ominous sort of creature and presence. And of course, he walks right over the camera and then walks into the bedroom. It's just like, wow, yeah, like this is, and the bump, bump. It's like, fuck, this is intense. And in 1978, this would have been like, fuck, you know what I'm saying? Would have been great. I still want to see this movie in the theater. Maybe I can... champion a theater up here to bring it up to the GTA, the Greater Toronto Area. So I'm at the scene now where Michael's trying to break into the closet. And of course, we all know when we see Michael's face, when he breaks through the closet, that's actually Tommy Lee Wallace. That's actually the production designer. The same guy that went on to direct Halloween 3 and the miniseries It in 1990. And of course, for all intents and purposes, the guy responsible for Michael's mask. I mean, he was the one that went to the store and bought a bunch of Captain Kirk masks, spray painted it white, cut out the eye holes and all that. So we owe Tommy Lee Wallace big for the look and the presence of Michael Myers. So this is Tommy Lee Wallace here as he's breaking through. And again, it's a low angle shot. Now, it's supposed to be kind of a POV shot. Not really. It's not really acting like a POV shot, but you are seeing it sort of from Laurie's perspective. And that's to give Michael, again, presence and power. And here she is. She's going to stab him. Totally awesome. Great shit. Totally great shit. I love it. Yeah, I agree with you. The closet scene is awesome. Dave, you belong in Smith's Grove. I do! I belong in Smith's Grove! My cat's probably... Yeah, my cat has left the room. I don't... And of course, this moment here. Yeah, she's just killed him, so she kind of thinks, right? She's got the knife. She's opened the closet door. She's walking by his head. And what does she do? She tosses the knife to the ground. What are you doing, you dumb bitch? But hey, it's a horror movie. But I'm sure somebody, even in 1978, I'm sure somebody was like, why did you throw the knife on the ground? Now, funny enough, Michael didn't end up picking up the knife. But yeah, I always thought that was fun. I was like, oh, you threw the knife again? What are you doing? So yeah, so now Tommy and Lindsay are kneeling again in front of Laurie, and Laurie is telling Tommy and Lindsay to go down the street to the Mackenzies' house. You know, tell them to call the police, tell them to send them over here, just do as I say, hurry. Okay. Suck it up, Tommy. Come on. Okay. Suck it up. Fucking Christ. Now, and here it is, one of the most famous shots, sitting up slowly and then turning his head. Now pay attention. For those of you guys out there who want to emulate that, pay attention. It's up and then a turn. Look at what I was able to do in Halloween the Night He Came Back as well. A lot of people tend to sit up too fast and they're kind of sitting up and they kind of look over like this. H2O did that. Oh, God, that bothered me when I saw H2O. Michael is standing up behind Laurie and begins the walk. And of course, here comes Tony Moran's role, which I've said, and this is the only role. He goes around to conventions and he never makes the distinction that he is the unmasked Michael Myers. I'm not knocking Tony. I'm not taking anything away from him. I just want him to own that role. That is cool. You're the unmasked Michael Myers. That's cinematic history. Own that role, Tony. Own that role. And of course, there's Tony right there putting the mask back on. That's you, Tony. Own it. I mean, if that was me, I'd be like, hey, dude, no. Nick was, Michael, and then Tom was, but I'm the unmasked Michael, man. Isn't that cool? They're like, yeah, that's totally awesome. You'd still be signing as many autographs. And of course, here's the stunt guy falling off the balcony. So yeah, Tony, if you're watching, if you're listening, own your role, man. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Don't go around just saying you were Michael in H1. Well, yeah, but there's a bit, there's a huge question mark beside that. You were, but, Anyway, yeah, so Laurie says, was that the boogeyman? For the longest time as a kid, I was like, what the fuck did she say? Was the boogeyman? What? Wasn't the boogie? What the hell is she saying? She's saying, was that the boogeyman? And of course, Dr. Loomis says, as a matter of fact, it was. Great moment. And here it comes, folks. He walks to the balcony and he plays it the one of two ways that Carpenter wanted him to. The, oh my God, he's gone, or the, I knew this would happen. He's gone. The camera cuts back to Dr. Loomis, and he plays it the way that I would have directed him to play it as well, which is, I knew this was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen. Just a great moment. And folks, that's it. That is the end of the movie. That's where Carpenter wanted to end it. It was this, Hitchcockian sort of Twilight Zone kind of film, and that was it. That is the end of the movie. It's just this one-off campfire ghost story kind of thing. Wow, it was the boogeyman after all. But of course, it became the highest grossing the highest grossing independent movie for its time, and they wanted to make a sequel, and they did, and we know what happened after that. You can watch my previous videos on that, but that's where it was supposed to end, and that is it. Now, with this new Halloween film coming out next year, that is the ending. This new Halloween film, that is the last time we saw Michael Myers, and the credits are now rolling. So when that new movie comes out next year on October the 19th, 2018, that is the last time we saw Michael Myers. Was that moment where he shot off the balcony and he's gone. So I'm really curious to see how they're going to sort of, what they're going to do. What's the narrative going to be? What's the story going to be? Something you have to keep in mind, folks. A lot of people are saying, well, if Laurie isn't his sister in this new one, then why is Michael chasing her? Who says Michael is chasing her? Who says Laurie is going after, Michael is going after Laurie? Nobody says that. Laurie could just find herself caught up in it again, right? Unbeknownst to her, not on purpose. She's just like, holy fuck, I'm caught up in this thing again. And it's just a matter of sort of circumstance that they end up together. Nobody is saying that Michael is going after Laurie in this new film. So keep that in mind too. They could just find or Laurie could just find that she ends up in the mess again, right? For whatever reason, whatever the narrative is. Something that bothers me, and I'm sure you guys have noticed this, in the end credits it says Michael Myers, age 23, Tony Moran. Well, of course that's a mistake, right? He's 21. Okay. But they do the same mistake in Halloween 2. At the end of Halloween 2, it says Michael Myers, age 23, Tony Moran, because of course he appears at the very beginning of Halloween 2. And I'm like, okay, you make the mistake in the first one, but you make it again in the second one? Even Dr. Loomis says in Halloween 2, when the dentist is, checking out, his teeth, Michael Myers was 21. We all know he's 21. I just can't believe they made that mistake 2 movies in a row, separated by 3 years. Anyways, and that's the end of the movie, folks. I want to thank you so much for watching with me. I'll answer a few questions here. It's 10:30 p.m. now, so if you guys have any sort of remaining questions that you want to ask me, by all means, you can do so. And I'll take a few minutes here and ask and answer some questions. But I do really appreciate you joining and watching John Carpenter's Halloween with me. Dave, what mask is behind you? That is the MMK, Michael Myers, AHG MMK Michael Myers mask. That's the Michael Myers mask I used in my Halloween fan film, The Night He Came Back. It's a beauty. I'm telling you, it's a beauty. What mask is behind it? What are your thoughts on the Scream movies? I really enjoyed the first Scream film. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. But the others, I found it a little repetitive. I think Scream probably, again, I mean, they were able to continue it, and because Wes Craven was directing and sort of bringing his talents and his vision and flavor, it worked well. Even the sequels worked. But the first one was revolutionary and different and new and fresh and exciting, and the sequels just didn't live up to it because the new one was so different and new. So I really enjoyed the first one. Absolutely. Dave, do you like Nightmare on Elm Street Dream Warriors? I do. I actually watched it not that long ago. I do like it. It's the last one in the series that I actually like. I like, my favorite is A Nightmare on Elm Street 1. It's the best. It's dark. It's creepy. Freddy is scary. I really like that. There's this dreamlike hue over the entire film when nothing dreamy is really happening. It's just a great movie. It's the best of the series. I actually like 2, even though it's a far inferior film to A Nightmare on Elm Street 1. What I like about 2 the most, even though they sort of break the rule about Freddy, only being seen in dreams. I understand that they do that sort of towards the end of the movie at the pool party. But I like that Freddy's scary. I like Robert Englund's portrayal of Freddy in A Nightmare on Elm Street 2. In 3, I don't mind. But 3 is sort of the balance where now he starts to get a little funny, and he's starting to get a little kind of, and I'm like, okay, all right, there's some nice moments and nice, but that's it. I mean, I would probably watch 1, 2, 3, and then A New Nightmare and just avoid 4, 5, and 6. Especially 6. Holy fucking 5. Like, what the hell is that? 5 is like... Anyway. Brendan, 1440 says, do you think H2O could have been better given Alan Howarth was doing the soundtrack? If Alan Howarth was doing the soundtrack, the script had more... psychological element, better cinematography, and a more menacing Myers. Do I think that Halloween H2O would have been better if Alan Howarth was doing the soundtrack, had more of a psychological element, and better cinematography? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, there's a lot of problems with Halloween H2O, and one big one is that it's set in California. And I understand that they did that so it's a complete 180 from the original to show, a passage of time, moving on. Laurie's, in some sort of witness protection thing. She's on with her life. She's away. She's gone. But she's still, and California is very far away from Illinois, so, there's that. But it didn't feel like Halloween, and there's just a lot of problems. And I know a lot of people like the portrayal of Michael Myers in H2O. It's nothing special to me. What are your personal expectations for the movie in Halloween 2018? Greg from New York City. Greg NYC. I don't know if you're from New York, but Greg NYC. What are my expectations? I am hoping they go back. Well, and it sounds like they are. They're saying all the right things, but who knows? I'm hoping that they go back to the roots. They go back to the flavor of what made the original so good. And now that doesn't mean to negate everything. Even I said in the past, I think that they should include Halloween 2 because it's so embedded into the pop culture consciousness. It's so ingrained into our brains. And because Halloween 2 picks up right where Halloween 1 left off, it's like one movie with two separate parts. And even my fan film is a loosely, it's a loose kind of sequel to Halloween 2. Even though I'm not emotionally attached to the sister brother angle, but I recognize the importance in the pop culture of that narrative. So I was surprised when they said they were going to negate it. So I don't know too much about what they're going to do. I just hope that it's true to the roots of the mood, the atmosphere, the what you think you see, what you think you hear, and all the elements that made Carpenter's classic so good. They stay true to those roots. And with the music, the cinematography, the lighting, the pacing, the mask, of course, but that's general stuff that I think we all hope for. And we'll know more if that's actually going to happen down the road when we know more about the film. Your thoughts on Danielle Harris as Jamie Lloyd? In general, you mean like in Halloween 4 and 5? She's great. She was great. She was a talented child actress, and she did a good job. Her career never went pretty, not much further than that. I mean, I know she's been in a lot of B direct-to-DVD and B horror films, of course, and she was even in Rob Zombie's remake. But yeah, she was fine. I mean, sure. Have you seen the Maniac remake with Elijah Wood? The film is mainly in his POV, which is unique. I haven't, but I've seen it. I think it's on Netflix, isn't it? That's Rogue Reaper. I haven't seen it, Rogue Reaper, but I will. I'll check it out. If you're recommending it, maybe I'll try to remember to check it out the next time I'm on Netflix. So you think Blumhouse underestimate the love for the later sequels? Do I think they underestimate the love for that? I don't know. I think they know how much 2 is loved, but I also think they know that this is about story and this is about narrative. And, look, I think I can speak for everybody when we say, even those of you who love 4 and 5 and 6 and H2O and Resurrection, I think we can all agree that the Halloween timeline is it's a pile of shit. That doesn't mean that you don't like certain movies, and that's fine, but we all can agree that they went here, and then they went here, and then they went here, and then they retconned this, because they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. And it all started with Halloween 5. It didn't start with Halloween 4. Halloween 4 was, again, it's far inferior to the originals, but it was okay. It was you watch it and you go, okay, so that's 4, okay, all right. 5, it makes 4 look even worse. 5 makes 4 look like shit. Not that 4 is better than the first one. It's not, in my opinion. But 4 was a decent sequel, a decent return, all things considered. But 5 is when that was the end of it. That was the end of it. You're welcome. You're welcome, Brendan, sorry. Michael Myers fan 1001. You made my Halloween tonight. Wow, thank you. I'm glad. Am I going to watch part 2? No, I'm not going to watch part 2 tonight, guys. But you know what? Maybe I'll do that down the road soon. Maybe I will do that down the road soon. But if you guys want to, I'll stay on for just a little bit longer here and answer some more questions, and then I'll call it a night. Halloween Reflections. Yes, Halloween Reflections is great. Halloween Reflections was written and directed by a buddy of mine who lives here in Ontario, Canada, named Jason Costa. And I had a wonderful opportunity of reading the script prior to them moving into production. So I was really excited, and I think he's done a great job. Halloween Reflections, if you haven't checked it out, check it out. Really good fan film. It's like a 21-minute sort of mini. It's his intention is for it to be a mini series. So if you guys want to check it out, I think you should do that because support him and he will make more. It's left open. It's like a choose your own adventure. Like what happens next. You know what I mean? It's really well done. Better song to have in Halloween film, Mr. Sandman or Monster Mash? I think it depends on what sort of, what we're seeing. Mr. Sandman was alluding to Michael Myers, for all intents and purposes. Monster Mash is not really referring to anybody. Yeah, I don't know. I think they both work in their own unique ways. I used the Monster Mash at the beginning of one of my other fan films, Halloween Red Harvest. I used at the beginning of that. That was from 2013. Morning, evening, happy Halloween, Dave, from Michael Myers. My God, it's Michael Myers himself! He's saying good morning and evening, Dave, happy Halloween! My God, we have Michael Myers on the channel, folks. Do you think Charleston, South Carolina, this is from The Shape 1978, do you think Charleston, South Carolina will stand in for Haddonfield in the new Halloween movie, or do you think production will move to South Pasadena? It's a good question. I don't know how long they're shooting there. I've heard they're going to be shooting there for a few weeks. I think David Gordon Green and Danny McBride are from that area. Don't quote me on that, but I think they are. So they're familiar with the area. It might stand in for Haddonfield. They might shoot there. There might be a specific reason why. It might be cheaper to shoot there this time of year. It might be cheaper to shoot there in general. Will they show, the Myers house or the Doyle house and the Wallace house in the new movie? Yeah, they might do that. And of course, if they do that, they'll have to go back to Pasadena to do that. It's a good question. I'm not sure. Yes, Mike Joseph, Carpenter is in Toronto. He's coming to Toronto on November the 12th or something like that. Yeah, I think he's playing at the Danforth Theatre or something like that, somewhere around there. Yes. Is Halloween Reflections a fan film? Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Chase. It is a fan film. I highly recommend it. Thoughts on Never Hike Alone? Christopher Win. Win? Wine? Win? Win. Win. Wine? Wine? Woon? Wan? Win? Win. Thoughts on Never Hike Alone? I loved it. I thought it was really, really, really well done. It was it was great. I mean, what's there not to love about Never Hike Alone? It was really, really well done. The cinematography was great. The pacing was great. The idea was great. The mood was great. The editing was great. The one thing I didn't like about Never Hike Alone was Jason's footsteps were too loud, too prominent. And it was all the same noise. So it was all duh, 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 duh. If you're walking into a room, the noise of your footsteps is going to differ slightly. So it's going to be more duh, 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 if you know what I mean. Whereas the noise that they used in duh, 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 and it became very apparent that was obviously added in afterwards. Not that it wouldn't have been anyway, it always would have been. But it stood out to me. And as a sound guy, I design, a lot of sound for a lot of independent films. That stood out to me. And even the footsteps for the main antagonist as well. They were softer, of course, but they were all the same note. And they need to be more little subtle things like that. But on the whole, Never Hike Alone was great. It was really, really, really well done. Russie Shipley. Do you think the new Halloween 2018 will be better than the rest of the sequels? No. Well, yes, I think it will be better. I think it will be the best. It should be. On paper, everything on paper, right? It should be the best Halloween. If you are a huge fan of John Carpenter's Halloween, what we've just watched, and if you are a fan of Halloween 2, then I think you will enjoy, at the absolute least, you will enjoy this new Halloween film, because they're taking the elements of what we all love about the originals and implementing them into this new film. They're trying to go back to the roots. If you are a huge fan of Rob Zombie's films and that's Halloween to you, then you'll probably hate the new Halloween film. So I think it's circumstantial depending on what you really like. Josh Chandler. How bummed did Halloween 2 2009 make you? It made me so bummed that I don't have an ass. I no longer have an ass. That is how bummed I am. My bum is gone. I'd show it to you, but then of course we'd have to put a whole other rating on the on the thing. I think I'm tilting here. Sorry about that, guys. If I'm tilting a little bit this way, I do apologize. Trying to make sure we're tilting a little bit. Yeah, I what can I say about Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 from 2009? Whatever. Bye, Sailor Orangia, whatever your name. Sorry about that. I'm not familiar with the name. Take care. Be safe. Okay, guys, I'm going to give you another 5 minutes, and then we're going to call it a night. Samuel says, do you like the extended version? You mean the TV version? I do. It's not needed for the original idea of what Halloween was supposed to be, and what Halloween is. But do I like the extended version? Yeah, I think it's okay. I mean, if you're a huge fan of the sister brother angle, then I think you'll really enjoy the extended version, and I think it's all right. I think it certainly doesn't take away if you like that angle, but it's not needed. Joe Jetu. Will Carpenter make a comeback directing? Well, he's supposed to be directing something now. He's supposed to be directing some sort of pilot for a new horror TV show or something like that. But will he come back and direct a feature film? Probably not one that will wind up in the theater. He may come back and direct something straight to DVD. I think his days of directing something high profile are done. I don't think he cares. He doesn't give a fuck. He's made his money. He's made his mark. He's a little jaded from some of the bullshit he's had to put up with in Hollywood, and I think he's done. And he's almost 70 years old. So, yeah, I think he's done. Do you own the Halloween Complete Collection released back in 2014? I don't, actually. AO98. I don't. I was waiting for it to drop in price. I mean, it's not that I couldn't afford it, but I'm one of those guys that's like, yeah, no, it's going to come down. Yeah, it's going to come down. So actually, I don't. And part of the reason, too, is because I'm not going to watch 6 that much, and I'm not going to watch 5, right? I might watch 4, and I'll watch 3, 2, and 1, but I'm not going to watch 5, not going to watch 6, not going to watch H2O, not going to watch Resurrection, certainly not going to watch Rob Zombie's films. So it almost makes, I will eventually get them, but maybe I'll wait now until this new Halloween comes out, because then they'll probably release a whole other set. You know what I'm saying? That's probably what I'll do. Okay, 3 minutes left, guys. TJ Studios Entertainment. Dave, did you hear about the Expendables Ocean-style film with some of the horror icons? No. No, I have not heard about that. I will check that out. Mash tier 10. How was Michael killing people when he wasn't close to the house yet? I'm not sure what you're talking about. You have to elaborate. I don't know if we'll have time to get to it. Michael Myers, Dave, do you think a lot of the media attention that has gone to Carpenter and Curtis is taking a lot of pressure from the director? Is taking a lot of pressure off of the director, do you mean? Is taking a lot of pressure from the director. We've heard, we've not heard much of him. Yeah, I think so. I think there's probably a bit of that David Gordon Green can sort of slip under the radar and concentrate on what he needs to concentrate on, because Carpenter and Jamie Lee Curtis are sort of at the forefront at the moment. But that's only because they're the ones that were attached and in the original film. Once the film really starts to move into production and marketing next year, it is in production now, but once it starts to move into post-production and marketing next year, you'll see more with him and Danny McBride as well. Jared Johnson, thanks for a great Halloween, Dave. In your fan film, I never understood why she was in the Myers house filling out paperwork. Why was that? She was just at work. She was, it was just supposed to be her at this little office in this little house, and she was at work, and she's done for the day. She's this shy, sort of quiet, introverted person who's interested in acting, and she was, just finishing up her day and walking back home. Mike Johnson, hello Dave. Do you think Laurie in the new movie will be the primary target for Michael, or will she likely be used in a way that she didn't expect? I don't think she's going to be the primary target for Michael. I think she's going to find herself falling ass backwards into it all again. I could be wrong, but I don't think Michael is going to be going after her specifically. I think Michael will appear for whatever reason. He's there again for whatever reason. We have to wait for that. And I think Laurie will suddenly find herself back in it. Maybe she always knew he'd come back, but I don't think I don't know if he's necessarily coming back for her. Maybe he is because she's the one that got away. Maybe, who knows? But right now, I kind of think that she'll probably find herself just caught up in it again. But who knows? Okay, guys, that's going to be it for me. I really appreciate you tuning in. Thank you so much. Next year, we'll have to do this again. Comment below in the comment section when you can and let me know if you enjoyed this. I apologize to all of you I didn't answer, to those of you I didn't answer. I am sorry about that, but there were a lot of people tuning in and a lot of, questions going by the screen. And of course, I was trying to watch the movie and give some commentary on what I was seeing. So I do apologize. It's nothing personal whatsoever. Yeah, maybe make a comment in the comment section and I'll try to get back to you if I can. But if I don't, again, it's not personal. The more comments there are, the harder it is to get back to everybody. So just remember that. But I really appreciate you tuning in. And yeah, we'll have to do this again next year maybe. Or maybe we'll do it again sooner than that. Maybe if you guys really liked it, maybe we'll do it again for Christmas or for just a random Tuesday in February. You know what I mean? Who knows? Maybe we'll make this kind of a tradition if I have some time. But that's it for me. I appreciate you tuning in. And I will be back soon with another video as soon as I can, as soon as news breaks. I'm not going to do a video about Zac Efron or the promotional shot of Michael and Jamie head-to-head. There's nothing really there. Unless something huge breaks in regards to Zac Efron and he's playing, Sheriff Brackett's son, maybe I'll do something, I don't know. But I wait for the juicy stuff, the real juicy stuff. So I'll be back with videos about that when something juicy breaks. Who knows? But you never know with me, right? So I will talk to you guys soon. And yeah, this has been fun. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. My name's Dave McRae. Cheers.